locked on?
Get to the point.
Is it locked? I know I've done live sideways before.
Should I look?
Why is this happening?
Watch live now.
Yeah, I know. I'm already on.
Okay, well, what are you asking?
Look, I'm trying to do it this way. Look.
Well, lock it the other way.
What are you talking about, lock it the other way?
I don't know.
It doesn't. What do you mean lock?
You were the one talking about locking it.
Yeah, because you're not looking.
Monetized already.
Look. When I do that, look on your phone.
Hey, I look at my phone and you tell me to look. What about it? It's vertical.
I know, and I want it to be. Let me see. Play on your phone. Look, I'm trying to do it this way. Look. Wait. It doesn't. Yeah, because I want it to. Whatever.
But if it says it's locked,
I think because I started it.
unlock it.
Lame-o. Kuma, you can't do it by yourself. Here. Good girl.
Never been live before.
Yeah. And when questions come up, I don't know how to look at them again.
Okay.
So if you don't read them right away.
The one whom Jesus loves says buffering.
Oh, sorry. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. We're just a couple of gals doing it.
Oh, Emily's here.
Emily, look at Ruthie, you guys.
Toothy.
Little Ruth Ann is available as soon as she gets spayed for adoption. Brr.
Caesar asked, "Do I follow you?"
I don't know, Caesar. Do you follow me? Do I follow you?
Oh, he said, "Oh, you're that dog chick."
All right. Well, I got to brush Kuma, and we figured this would be a good time for Q&As. While we do this, or if you just want to watch how I do this with her, because her hair weaves itself into
Everything and everyone.
my clothes, and it makes you so itchy.
Ready, catch.
And she really doesn't care to be brushed, so we're using this little, what is this thing called?
Treat and train.
This little treat and train. And I have her lay down, and then it just automatically dumps out a treat every few seconds. Back down. Come down. All the way. Come on, all the way down. She's so excited. A little bit of that little thing, I put it up there when I was doing her nails the other day. Another thing she doesn't really care to have done. And I've got the setting set so it just kind of, it'll dispense every couple seconds. And I got all of her nails done without her trying to run off.
Is that black and white dog an Akita?
Yeah. I don't know if I have, I don't think I have any videos on the big channel. I did a short of her with a little bit of her story. Yeah, this one, Kuma I've had for almost 3 years now. And so far, her and I have never danced. So that's nice.
And you'd like to keep it that way?
We would love to keep it.
Washington State checking in.
Washington State. Where at in Washington? I grew up in Oregon. And Sarah is dying to get to the Pacific Northwest. Although I'm sure this time of year, you guys are just bombarded with the dreary weather coming in. Oh man. This hair, even when I'm done brushing it, oh my god. There's so much. It's literally never ever done. Oh, we got another new dog yesterday.
Surprise.
So depending on how much you follow my channel, or this channel, I should say, I live in shitty Phoenix, and there are so many backyard breeders, and not even breeders, just people that don't give a shit, and their dogs run loose, or they just drop them, or dump them, or nobody is ever fixed, ever. So they're just all over the street getting other dogs pregnant. And it sucks. It's very, very, very hard to go a week without running into something like that. Anyway, a couple of days ago, I was out here walking dogs, and I turned the corner, and I haven't even posted it yet. And right here on my street, fucking car peels out, and there's a little white pit bull puppy right in the middle of the street, like terrified, just standing there scared, doesn't, like, so confused. You can tell the dog has no idea what just happened. And some fucking jackass just dumped it right in the middle of my street. And I had two little dogs that I was walking. I was right in front of my house, so I hurried up and I grabbed footage of the dog just so I knew what it looked like in case I needed to share it. And I threw my dogs in the yard, and I ran back out and it was gone. I couldn't find it. I went all over looking for it. And then I went last night, and this morning. And I posted on Nextdoor. Nobody's seen it. Not a chance that it just got out and made its way back home. Somebody would have said something. And I've knocked on everybody's door in this neighborhood. So, anyway, so on my way home last night, that's what I was trying to say. On my way home last night, I took one of the back roads to go look for that dog, and tick.
Someone said, "What is going on? Is the dog okay?"
Which one?
Kuma. I think. Kuma's doing wonderful.
Sarah, what's your phone?
It's still going. You just turned it off. Don't touch it. Do you want the downstay thing on, or did you purposely turn it off?
Oh, hold on, hold on.
Don't you have one?
This is it.
Are you in Florida or California?
Arizona. Okay, well, I'll get back to that. Pimple.
Keep it.
Anyway, so I took a back road to go see if I could find that little white dog. And of course, I didn't find the white dog, but as we were almost home and we're driving, I was with Kuma. And I saw these little eyeballs sitting in a bush. And so I stopped and watched, and this little chihuahua darts out of a bush and was trying to get this stray cat to play with it. And it was in a, not the trailer park, but it was like patio homes, I guess. Like they're all grouped together, kind of. And anyway, there wasn't anybody out. It looked like everybody was at work. All the cars were gone in the area. And the dog was just running around by itself. So I just watched it for a minute, and then I parked and I walked up to one of the houses where the dog was kind of hanging out around. And there was somebody sitting in there. And I asked the lady, I was like, is this your dog? Just making sure. Just making sure it was her dog. And she's like, nope, it's not. And apparently the dog had just been hanging out in front of their house for like a week. Down, Kuma. So, it was living outside, doing nothing on its own, not fixed, and I wasn't going to leave it there. And I thought for sure, because I saw a couple of dogs on the Nextdoor app that looked pretty similar. I forgot I left that part out. That was originally why I stopped, because it looked like a dog I saw on the Nextdoor app. And when I went back through the app, both dogs that I thought it was, it definitely was not. So anyway, that little dog is in my bathroom, and she bites. I don't know that they're like real bites, but I'm afraid a little dog bites. I don't know why. I'm not sure how to get over it. I've been bit plenty by little dogs, but I don't know. I think it's because they're fast.
It's not like you have the best dog to work with on that.
I know. I don't know what my deal is. I think it's just I psych myself out. Like the big dogs, I see it coming, and even when it happens, like it's way more damaging and more intense and hurts and the whole 9 yards. But
it's different.
I can see it. Like I can see it all happening. With the little dogs, it's just
fast as lightning.
They're so fast, and they scare the shit out of me.
Are there any places that has Yorkies or Maltese up for adoption that you know of? I've been looking for one.
For a what?
Yorkie or Maltese.
Yorkie or Maltese.
How about a diamond?
How about we have both? We have Dylan and Ricky. Although Ricky, I don't know if he's going to be available. Come on, you can't make him come faster. I don't know of either of those, like specifically, other than the only other rescue. The only other rescue I would recommend is Desert Tails. I mean, not only other rescue, but the one that gets a lot of puppies and a lot of different breeds is Desert Tails. They're not far from here.
Hello from Eastern Oregon.
Eastern Oregon! Oh, I love Eastern Oregon.
I'm not a dog person. I love cats. I just lost my cat from cancer. Was wondering what is a good website to finding a new kitten.
Oh,
we have one up there just for you. Romeo.
Sorry, you lost your cat.
Romeo, show yourself. Don't jump out though. Kuma wouldn't love that. Romeo.
Roman is available for adoption. We don't have any kittens.
He's the best, most affectionate cat in the world.
Yeah, he's super cool.
He loves everyone. He likes dogs.
Come on, I need you over here.
How much is a Zoom appointment with you, Coco?
A Zoom appointment. So I changed I haven't updated it on the website. I changed my my training, and I'm only taking Zoom appointments from folks that have gone through the LEASH reactivity course, because so much of that is the foundation of what needs to happen regardless of what you're dealing with, that it just cuts down on the time, so we're not wasting time. And it helps you have an understanding of what kind of training I'm doing, because that might not vibe with you. Because I don't use, a lot of the training that I had on the channel when I first started out a couple of years ago, I don't do anymore, which is prong collar training, because I was just getting too many people that were trying to get just a quick fix. So anyway, if you go through the LEASH reactivity course, the course is only $20, and then you want to do a Zoom, the Zoom is $200. But it's the LEASH reactivity is a ton of information. It's very, 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 what do you call it? What am I trying to say? It's all video. It's all like step-by-step video. It's demos, and then it's, you know, live reenactments of, or not reenactments, but live trainings of working with the dogs that are reactive. And then every Tuesday, Sarah and I, the one holding the camera, we do a live in the private Facebook group that we created for that course. And we do a live and just answer questions, and we go over anything that anybody's struggling with. We do demos when nobody asks questions. I talk about Velcro. There's a private Facebook group that comes with that course. So as you're going through the course, if you have questions and you need help, you don't have to wait for the live. You can post a video, you can ask a question, and Sarah, and there's 2 other girls that are trainers that train with me. They're in that group and answer questions. So, yes, I should have charged more than $20 for that whole thing, but here we are.
How much time on average does it take for a dog in foster care to get adopted? Is it difficult?
Yeah, it depends on the dog. It depends on the dog and the
Rescue.
Yeah. I mean, I've had dogs, I don't typically adopt out very quickly just because we do so much behavior modification before we let any of our dogs go. But like a couple of our easy ones we've had for over 6 months. And I've had tons and tons and tons of rescues tell me that because of COVID and because of everything, like no dogs are getting adopted, and it's just so terrible, and you know what, more are coming in than going out. But it's always been like that for me. I've never been like quick to get dogs adopted ever. I had 1 dog get adopted within me like a week of having them, and that was years ago when I first started. I would never adopt a dog out that quick now. I mean, of that size. He's a big, huge pit bull, and I didn't know enough about him, but it worked out wonderfully. And you know, the adopters were great. I actually just talked to the adopters yesterday, so it all went really well. But that's not, for me, that doesn't usually happen. I don't usually get dogs adopted out that quick. I have them for at least 2 weeks, just because I gotta get all their vet care handled, if not longer.
So on average, a while.
So on average, yeah, a while. Couple of months. The little ones, you like to think they go faster, but that's not always the case. Yeah, so the new little dog we got, oh man, she's so cute. She's got little tiny short legs like a dachshund, but a big huge head, like eyeballs like a chihuahua. Ooh, yeah, let's get this part, thank you. Just for editing. Her hair is so molty, it's like thick and clumpy underneath. You just look like a trash bag.
How did you learn dog training and behavior modification? How much time did it take to learn the basics?
I learned initially on my own, just watching a lot of videos and doing a lot of courses online and getting bit a fucking shit ton. And then I mentored under a trainer out here for a couple of years after a little while later. But for just the basics, I don't know, maybe, it's hard to say because you never really stop learning. And because I've changed so much of my training, I don't know, maybe 6 months for just the basics. I remember thinking like 6 months in when I was first doing all this, like, man, I know some shit. I've got this thing figured out.
You were also in the middle of a lot of shit.
What are those knuckleheads out there doing? As I'm laying in the hospital. But I did think that. And I do believe, I believed it, which made me successful because I believed, and it was slightly true. I didn't know all of it, but I knew 10% more than most people knew, so I just kept going. Yeah, I don't think I really got very good until maybe the last 2 years of really just understanding the dog's needs versus trying to stop behaviors, which is what I do now. So now I don't focus on trying to stop things. I figure out why they're happening and then meet the dog's needs and kind of reverse engineer what's been happening.
What is that treat dispenser called? Treat and train.
Treat and train. That's one of the best things that I've invested in. It's $150, but man.
Has the remote, so you can manually do it. This is set on downstay mode, where you can adjust the time between treats and do it hands-free. Is that kitten a Himalayan?
I don't know, actually. I thought he was part Siamese.
If so, a seal point or a flame point. You are asking the wrong people.
Here's what I know. He was feral, and then my neighbors took him in, and they were kind of treating him as their own for about a year. And I asked, because I saw him wandering around. They're like, no, we bring him in at night. We named him Hamburger or Burger or something fucking dumb and offensive to a cat like that. And, but they are nice people. Sorry about that. They are nice people. But the ending of the story is not nice. So they did that for like a year. And they moved. And when they moved, they knew they were moving. They'd known they were moving for like 2 months. And when they moved, they waited until the last day to ask me to help them take their fucking black pregnant pit bull that got pregnant for a second time after I offered to fix it. And that's nothing to do with the story. At the very end of the day, I saw the cat wandering around. They had already left, everything was gone. And I messaged them and I'm like, dude, your cat. And the girl, she was like, yeah, he's pretty upset with us. And that's it. And the cat had been used to living inside. Like he wasn't, he was a family cat at that point, and they just fucking bounced. So then it took me another 3 months to earn his trust to come around to me, or 6 months. I don't remember how long it was. And I just kept feeding him, and I felt so bad because he wouldn't leave their driveway. And finally, another cat came up to me, and then he came up to me, and so now we built that little studio for him.
The cat hotel.
Yeah.
Cat
and
condo.
I invested in this flipping $1 million split unit for him because he wanted to be an inside cat, and I have so many dogs, he can't be in the big part of the house. So this was the closest to inside I could do. That's what I know about that cat.
We know nothing on his heritage. Romeo.
What time is this here? Do you go?
5:42. No.
Okay.
She'll text me when she's here.
You are so dirty, Kuma.
Thank you for all you do. You are an angel to these babies.
Oh, thanks for the support. Thanks for being here. We're really trying to grow the channel so that I'm not losing my mind every fucking day. Because there's just so much that we do that other people can do and that have questions and need help. And I want to get more of that out there. And then we also, you know, the channel's monetized. So once we get it going and we actually figure out our audience and grow it correctly, it would be so cool to let YouTube support, you know, financially the majority of the rest of it. And that would free up my time to be able to do more training appointments, to make more content. Right now, I've been working on the same dumb video for...
Don't call it dumb.
I've been working on the same great video for 2 weeks now. It was supposed to be posted last week, and every time I turn around,
And everyone's gonna love it, and it's gonna go viral.
there's something else going on.
Ooh.
So what I really need more than anything is, and that's my number one goal, is to be able to hire an editor that has experience to take over that part, because the editing is just brutal.
Are you ready for a really good question?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Carson Animal Shelter? How can we help them?
And what?
How can we help them?
Who asked that?
Naman Chawla.
Do we know each other outside of this? Fucking hellhole Carson Shelter.
Hold on, before you go down that rabbit hole, who does a lot of your funding, or you're basically on your own?
No, we're on our own. We have no
Okay.
funding.
Okay, back to Carson.
No funding. That's like anytime I post anything about the dogs, I'm like, if you want to help, and I throw my Venmo, that's where any help comes. Or if help does come, that's where it comes from. Otherwise, it's just out of pocket. And I'm always empty pocketed. Carson, my thoughts are that that's like, I don't even know what's worse than hell on earth, but whatever's worse than hell on earth, it's that place. I was partnered with them for a while. I have a ton of their dogs. I pulled a ton of their dogs. I rehomed a shit ton of their dogs. I rehabbed even more. A couple of my dogs are from there. Kevin's from Carson. Harrison originally was from Carson, then they threw him in Pasadena. Anyway, it's hard to say how to help them because the system is so deeply, deeply corrupt, and it goes further than just the shelter itself. It's run by the state, and it goes into, it's like, it's a money machine. Like the people that are in charge of, not the director, I'm trying to think of who it is. So who was the guy that called me last week? He was running for city council.
City council.
Okay, so there's a guy that called last week and he was running for city council, and my name popped up. He was going through, he didn't think he was gonna get it, but he wanted to use the last 3 weeks of the election to put towards something that needed help, and he found the Carson shelter, and anyway, and he was running for city council in Carson, so I gave him as much as I had, and then I threw some volunteers his way that volunteer for the shelter. But like it would, to have change, it goes further than city council. It's like the Senate, and it's so interwoven. I don't even know how to explain it. Regina was the one that explained it all to me and broke it all down, but
It goes much deeper than it appears.
Yeah, to get in front of that, you have to
Go pretty high up.
It's not even being on the board for Carson. It's like being a senator of, like, that's how deep it is. And the money that they're making, the ones that are in charge over there, I mean, it's in the six figures. And so they're not gonna back down from their position. And to get them in trouble, you basically are like, you're fighting a losing battle, which we continue to fight. I just think, I don't know. It's really, really frustrating to talk about because we've fought against them for years. And we never, and they know that they know what they're doing and they know we're trying, and they don't care. They don't give a shit. And they just keep doing what they're doing because they know we can't touch them. It doesn't matter if we've had attorneys, it doesn't matter because their legalities and the people that they're attached to are so high up in the politician world that it's almost like the untouchable. I was asking Regina when we were talking about it, I was like, yeah, but they have to die eventually, right? She's like, yeah, but they've already got like the next heir.
Bark in Houston has been killing over 10 dogs a day. It's been so hard to watch. She's
Bark?
over it. Yeah.
Is that a rescue or a shelter?
Good
Bark
question.
In Houston, 10 dogs a day. That seems like kind of light.
Yeah.
Houston's one of the worst.
She's over it. Just donated $5, $4.99 super chat.
Super chat.
I think it's super chat.
Super chat.
Looks like super chat.
Okay, who did the super chat?
She's over it.
She's over it. How cool. Thank you. Did she have a question?
It's a shelter. No.
Oh, she just donated?
Yeah.
Oh,
Adopt,
nice.
don't shop, spay and neuter, donate money, donate time, volunteer, advocate. She just said that.
Yeah, totally.
Richard said, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's a dead-end road.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't, like, I hate talking about it because it doesn't, I would never be on board with like, well, we can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, exposure's everything. You know, when the kingdom is corrupt, it's the people that ultimately are gonna make the decision, right? Like, where you have to get enough of the people to be upset about it to overrule the higher ups, and eventually, with enough exposure and the right kind of exposure and hitting it at the right time and with the right, everything, we could certainly do it.
The more people that come out about it, the volunteers there,
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. I mean, it will happen, it's just a matter of like chipping away at it and then figuring out like either one of us gets famous or one of us sleeps with somebody famous and
Yeah.
use that. I'm fine with either or both.
All of above.
Hey, can't escape this. Get your butt over here.
How many dogs can you board at your place?
Well, just depends on how much sleep I want to get.
She already gave up her bedroom.
Yeah. All the little dogs are in my room.
Kuma has her own room.
Kuma has her own room. Rosie, Harrison, Venice, and a spare kennel are in the big room. And then I've got a couple of the big dogs out in the living room. And then the new girl's in the spare bathroom. Millie gets my bathroom, but she doesn't have to have it. I just give it to her because she likes it.
She's a princess.
Yeah. So, there's not really, it's not so much about, stop, I gotta do this, I'm gonna. It's not so much about like the limit of how many, it's more about the rotations.
And the time.
And because you wanna be able to make, you can't just like bring dogs in and then not work them. So, at this point, I wouldn't bring in another big dog right now because it would not be fair to any of these dogs. It wouldn't be fair to any of us. And they would not get the exercise and the training that they needed. So that's a pretty big deal breaker for me. I won't do that. Little dogs, you know, are a little bit easier. Like this one that I have right now, she's super shut down, so I'm not even gonna fuss with her for a couple of days. And then she'll be in a little, like, you can put her in the little dog group. The big dogs, they don't all blend together. I can't put them all out in this, so when we let them out and work them, we don't let them all out together. You know, that's a big deal. And not even because like they would get in fight, kind of energy that can go sideways really quickly. So you gotta work up to that. So, yeah, if it were, you know, if they were all out together and I had no behavioral issues and it wasn't a big deal, then yeah, bring on the dogs. But I gotta be very, very careful about that and making sure that everybody gets what they need. Otherwise, my anxiety will debilitate me. And then I don't sleep very much just because I'm up, you know, at the crack of dawn at 4:30, getting dogs out and rotating them and getting ready for our walks. And then I spend about 4 hours walking dogs. And then I do a little bit of training, sometimes on the walk, sometimes when we get back home. And then I feed everybody. And then that's just, I get ready to rotate when Sarah gets here. And she does the afternoon shift and she does a lot of the detailed training. And then if we have any cases that need, you know, dog work, like dog on dog work, or like human
On dog.
work, you know, we figure that out. But when she's here, I try to take advantage of that time and do edits, or, you know, get whatever training stuff I need to get together. But a lot of days it ends up me just taking dogs to the vet. I can't stay away from the fucking vet.
Hennessy wants to know if you need a personal assistant.
So badly. So badly. But I'm, you know, I'm not in a place where I can pay for that yet.
But soon.
But soon, yeah, when that happens, hell yes. I mean, how many times, like, I can't tell you throughout the day how many times I text Sarah and say, hey, mental whiteboard, write this down mentally, don't let me forget. You know, just while I'm out doing whatever it is I'm doing.
Hi, Coco. Are there some dogs that are too fast and smart to be caught in a trap? I've been trying to catch a stray and it's gotten out of 2 traps so far. My plan is to try a 3rd trap this weekend.
Oh no, how big of a dog? Little dog, big dog? And what kind of trap? Usually I mean, yes and no. Some dogs will, you know, if they know what the trap is, that's a thing, and you gotta kind of maneuver it, so you would have to makeshift a trap if you're using like an actual dog trap. The actual dog traps they're pretty well designed. You know, once they're in, it's not easy for them to get out. But if you have a dog that is getting out of an actual dog trap, then you gotta kind of jimmy rig a bigger one with, you use kennel fencing, and then you just have to have people on available to do rotations and be able to have a long line and pull that door shut when the dog walks in. Because you'd have to, if the dog knows that the trap is there, then you have to make a big one so that it doesn't realize that it's a big trap, and you put the food and stuff in there, and then you just get ready, which is way time consuming, obviously, but it can be done. Is it a big dog or a small dog?
Waiting on response. She's over it, sent another $4.99. And Scottsdale Mom Cat sent 20.
Oh my god, you guys.
And then Siobhan sent $5. Keep up the wonderful work that you do and for going the extra mile.
Oh, you guys, thanks. Thank you for that. Thank you. Scottsdale Cat Mom.
Scottsdale Mom Cat.
Scottsdale Mom Cat. I feel like I don't have anyone here in Arizona that follows the channel.
She said, thank you for everything you do. If I lived there, I'd do the assistant position for free, the daily dose.
How do we get you?
We have a shed for you. You have 2 roommates. Oh, the dog's about 50 pounds or so, a pit bull, maybe boxer mix. The first trap was similar to a coyote trap. The second was a dog trap, the kind that has 2 runs that slide down with the door.
Dang. So the traps we have.
2 rings, not runs. So first trap, the second trap was a dog trap, the kind that has 2 rings that slide down with the door.
And it popped the door open. Because the kind that we have for a big dog, like, and small dogs, it's got like, it's the long, you know, it's a long rectangle, and then the trap door pops down like this, and there's something that like latches right here so it can't be flipped open instead of just sliding straight down. Is that the same thing that you're talking about? Because,
yes.
oh, it is? Where?
Yes.
Okay.
The dog is fast. Rings were too slow. This dog is fast. And Scottsdale Mom Cat has a cat rescue. She has 7 at the moment.
Ooh, who's the cat person that wanted a cat? Send them that way. Yeah.
If you're comfortable answering, what do you do for your primary career?
How do I make money? Everybody wants to know that. How do I make money?
How are you functioning?
I don't make a lot right now. And any money I have, I shouldn't say I don't make a lot, but any money I have goes to the dogs. But what floats my bills and everything here are the Leash Reactivity course, the Leash Foundation course, and then any consultations that I do. So I'll do virtual consultations for training. Sometimes I do them just for rescue stuff. And then YouTube pays me a little bit, but not like, you know, not anything that would cover where I could be like, oh my God, we're so close. Like this is gonna take, you know, we're not there yet, but it's, you know, a little bit is a little bit. And then I get paid from, and then I make a little bit of money off Instagram just for the market, just for like the reels and the bonuses and, what's the other one?
Patreon?
Patreon, I don't think I've even finished setting that up yet, or the payout part. But we set up Patreon for that so that we could get there faster in terms of having the dog's care covered. Like, so that's my primary foundation course, and then the little bit that I get from marketing and then whatever's left over usually goes to the dogs or, you know, food or whatever we're doing. And then the Patreon course, or the Patreon account we set up to put towards the dogs so that I'm not so stressed out every month with, I mean, because the amount of money I put out for the dogs, I shouldn't say that it's not very much, because it feels like it's not very much money because it disappears so quickly.
And it's what you know.
I get help from you guys, you know, when I'll post for, you know, dogs or whatever we need. So I'll get help from you guys, but I don't like fully relying on that. And, you know, if I don't get any help or whatever doesn't come through, it comes out of pocket anyway. But that, like, it's not uncommon for me to spend $1,500 in a week at the vet. Just kind of how it goes. So, yeah. So those are my primaries. I was doing training in person full time, but I ran out of time. I couldn't keep up with it because I had so many dogs here. So I had to really get smart with marketing, and that's why I put the course, not why, but that's when I leaned in harder to the courses, because I can still do that training and provide that, which is what I really love doing. And I can still do the virtuals, which is what I love doing. And I can still pay the bills. And then I still get to be able to work with the dogs and do this kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's not really relaxing. It's not the most relaxing, you know, like stress-free setup, but it'll get there. I'll make more money, you know, I'll get better at marketing, I'll do better videos, and I'll get the channel where it needs to be, and we'll make more money, and that will be, you know, that'll be that. And then we'll still include everybody, but you know what we really wanna do is once we get the ranch, so we wanna get, that's a big part of it, we wanna get a ranch, so that we have more room to bring on people that wanna help and people that wanna volunteer and do things with us.
And so Kuma has property
So
to
Kuma has a fucking mountain to
run around.
and she can actually be a bear dog and not run down the trashy alleys over here where I take her every morning. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that we want a ranch, and it's not just to bring in more animals. It's to be able to, Sarah's gonna head up training. It's to be able to train, you know, and do the things that need to be done so these dogs aren't ending up in the positions that
With
they're ending
us.
up in. Yeah. And we don't wanna just keep cleaning up mess after mess after mess. We want people to do better, and we wanna teach people how to do better, because most people don't know. They just don't know. And it's, you know, it's easy for you know, for people to pay somebody to kill their dog because it didn't work out for whatever reason. And most of us don't bat an eye. Like, most of the general public doesn't mind because, well, the dog bit. Well, it's a fucking dog. They go, well, I don't understand that concept. That you brought an animal into your house, and because you don't understand what's going on or what it's trying to communicate, now it doesn't deserve to live because it doesn't function in your, you know, tight, neat little pretty box that you designed for your family, not for the dog. I have a real problem with that.
Ruthie.
So we want to be able to provide more hands-on training, have the general public come in. Our dogs will be trained there. You know, there's all kinds of stuff with that. And but the other thing that I really want to do is, because of the amount of messages I get from people all over the country of, you know, dogs in shitty situations, and this, like, now, for me, it's normal to have a conversation with somebody that has a dog chained up or, you know, tied up on a little tiny string, or just, like, you know, really fucked up position. It's super normal, because I've had a million of those conversations, and the people are all the same every single time. There's nothing new. But most folks, when they see things like that, they trip out and they call law enforcement, they call animal control, and they try to get the person in trouble, which never works. So now that person is just pissed off because they think you're watching them, and, you know, they don't, nobody wants to be judged. Nobody wants, and if that person thought what they were doing was wrong, they wouldn't be doing it. So I really want to be able to be more hands-on when I know that there's not going to be someone to go have that conversation, because it's so uncomfortable. Like, people just don't like talking to people they don't know. And it's hard, it can be difficult in the beginning to compartmentalize. When you see something like that, how do you talk to that person like they're an okay, normal person? And I want to be able, you know, to grab a motorhome or whatever it is, and Kuma and Sarah or whoever,
Ruthie in her
and
backpack.
Go travel to that place to be able to have that conversation and film it and then post it on YouTube, you know, and make that part of the channel, doing that. But that's, you know, doing that right now wouldn't be an option just to have so many dogs, and there's only a couple of us. But once we get further along, to be able to do things like that and provide education, and what it really is all we're really doing is just teaching people how to be better to people. Because you're never gonna have any breakthroughs with animals until you figure out how to communicate with other humans. And once that starts happening, then we just create, you know, all these tiny legends of humans that start doing it themselves. So it's not just one rescue doing something like this. It's everybody just kind of leaning into having normal conversations and learning how to have normal conversations. There's a lot of people you'll see in posts like that where in the comment sections, take someone with you don't want to get shot. Nobody in the history of ever getting shot is gonna get shot for being nice. Like, you're not.
For talking to someone.
Yeah,
Just
I've never, ever, and I live in a not great area, and I go through a lot of even worse areas, but I've never had anyone get upset with me. Just like, oh my God, hey, I saw your dog back there. What a cool dog. I used to have a dog like that when I was good, and then I start bullshitting with them. No one's ever had a problem with that. People like talking about themselves, and most people haven't really had, you know, anybody show any interest in them in a while, so. Actually, that's not most people, that's just me. Speaking of this.
okay, end rant.
And rant. There we go.
On the Amazon wish list, what items are you in desperate need for right now?
Oh, those little tiny towels. Those little towels we go through like crazy. The big towels as well, but the little ones we use, those little white ones we use to clean tons of, you know, kennels or messes or anything that's going on. We have parvo right now. So those and bleach and
Do you have the wishy-wash refills on there?
yeah.
That too.
These, we just got them, and I haven't used it yet, but it's supposed to kill parvo. Oh, there's two things. It's called Rescue. It's a liquid, and it's for cleaning kennels, like inside stuff for parvo. It's what the vets use. And anyway, I just put that on there because we have parvo again. And then there's another thing called like Wishy Wash.
Which they should probably get a new name.
And I just got the attachment to hook to your hose, and then you put these caplets in there, and you're supposed to be able to spray your yard, and it says it kills parvo. I've never, in however many years I've been doing this, found anything that kills parvo, but this says it does, so. Those are the high priority. Like the cleaning things, we are always in desperate need of cleaning items.
Tasha Cook is here.
Tasha!
She said, why have I never thought to wear a full bodysuit when I brush Guinness?
Oh my God, it's great. It's so great.
Do any of your dogs have any of your dogs had severe separation anxiety? How did you solve it?
Let's see. Right now, I think the one that has through bring that here.
Hello.
So for separation anxiety, the biggest thing that you can do for that is exercise and then practice. Practice your crate and practice a place command. And teach your dog how to not be like wrapped around your legs all the time and build up to it. It's depending on how bad it is and what the situation is, it can be, you know, a little bit of a longer term play. But the more that you teach the dog like brain things, like teach them commands, and that's where people get it confused. Like, we don't need our dogs to know how to weave in and out of our legs or do all these cool things. You just do it because it builds your dog's brain and makes their brain work. And when you do things like that, it tires them out. And so when they get tired out, now to ask them to go lay down in a kennel, they don't care. They're gonna do it because they're tired of, you know, exercising and working all day. Or, you know, for an hour, 45 minutes, or however long. So exercise is the number one thing when it comes to separation anxiety, but it's the right kind of exercise. So it's not just running your dog on a slat mill or letting them run in a field. It's working their physical outlet or their physical need, but also working their brain so that the brain tires out as well. Because if you just run that dog and their brain didn't get worked, they're still going to be a hot mess.
Are you going to stay in Arizona?
Or my what?
Are you going to stay in Arizona?
For right now.
Yes. Yeah, I think there will always be a branch in Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, most of my parents are both here. Sarah's family's here.
My G-off is here.
We would definitely like to get a place in cooler weather, but we'll for sure always have a home base here.
What are your thoughts on basket muzzles? Are they inhumane?
No, not at all.
Take a look up there.
Yeah. Using a muzzle is the best thing that you can do if you have a dog that you are uncertain about their biting habits. Not using a muzzle is the most inhumane thing you can do if you have a dog that has bit you or someone else and you don't know how to work with that dog. But when you fit them right, yeah, they're great. We use them all the time. Shouldn't say that. We use them occasionally.
We use them when they're needed.
Yeah. Like we're crate training, muzzle training Billy, and not because he's gonna be aggressive or is aggressive, but we want to put him out with Utah to play together. And the only time I've had them play together is when Billy is like so wiped out he can't hardly move. So I know he's not gonna be too much. But they're both really, really high energy and they both play so hard.
They're a lot.
A lot. And Utah's still very much a puppy and he'll back off before anything goes sideways. Billy, I'm not so certain that he would. So we just want to make sure that we have our everything covered when we start letting them play together until we know that he knows how to back off when we tell him to and making sure all that stuff. So it's that kind of stuff. Like, several years ago I wouldn't have even bothered with a muzzle and just would have used a leash and kept going until I felt comfortable. But after having been through so much, like it's just such a disservice to the dogs.
And to your arms.
And to your arms and your ankles and whatever else might get involved.
Your clavicle. Are you gonna turn that hair into yarn? Yes.
It's not even like, she's got so much yarn on the other side. It's so deep.
Someone said, come to Tennessee.
Tennessee, we're at. I've been to Nashville a couple of times, and every time I've cried when I left. So I just thought that's where it was supposed to be. But I also was drunk, so that may have played into it. And I was in my 20s.
Maybe you can put out a country album.
And I was dating Ryan Band. But sure do love it out there.
But it was calling you.
And it was calling me.
Do you have an 24 emergency rescue service?
Yeah. Like vet, you mean? Oh, wait, what do you
I
mean?
don't know.
Sorry.
Instead of the public calling animal control before they take it, and God only knows what happens. Like a 24-hour emergency rescue service? Not yet, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's some rescues that are known for that, but I don't know of any. If there are, it would be volunteer-based. It wouldn't be like...
Totally.
Yeah, paid for entity through the state. Is there a wildlife one? Do we have a wildlife? I don't even think we have that.
I mean, we have Heart.
Heart's pretty solid, yeah.
That's like the only one I can think of.
Yeah. Heart is humane something trappers. So they do dog trapping.
And they're good at it.
They're really good at it, yeah. Oh, did you see they helped with my neighbor that lost her dog, the 15-year-old dog?
They found her?
She died. She got hit by a car. Yeah. She just told me. We've been hanging flyers and going up and down the street, and I thought she was on that side, so I've been spending all my time over on 24th. And the owner, messaged me yesterday. She's like, Coco, we found my girl. Somebody had a leash on her and it looked like she got away and she got hit on 24th Street.
Man.
And she saw it on the Nextdoor app and someone just moved her body to the sidewalk and posted it, so they knew, and she went down and looked and it was her dog. She had that dog since she was 12. It's pretty sad. So,
Nashville is too hot in the summer. Well, we're in Arizona, so
yeah,
try harder. Oh, Julia's here. Yeah, she said you can make a Kuma blanket.
Julia.
And she also said she's a cute girl. I think she's talking about you. How do you get dog not to be scared of everything?
How do you get a dog not to be scared of everything?
Yes. Confidence building.
You have to do lots of slow introductions, but the owner needs to know how to handle a leash, and you need to know how to handle it well, and you need to be confident. And I would use a lot of food. I would build the dog's food drive and introduce it slowly and then reward it with food to things that it's scared of. I think I have a video on that. I hate even referring to my old videos because they're so outdated. But yeah, that's what, so like the little dog that we have right now, she's petrified of us. And I had her in here last night and she was in a box. She wouldn't come out of the box. So I came in, and when you try to touch her, she bites. So I came in here and I slept out here on the floor last night. And when I woke up in the middle of the night, she got out of the box and came and laid next to me. So I pet her. And then I got up and she was over it. She went back in her box. A little while later, I just used food to lure her out, and she came out, and then I just had her out of my hand, until she was comfortable, and then she started getting more comfortable with me. And now, and I'll do this in a video. Maybe that's what I'll do a video of her of her. It's just how to get her a dog like that that's scared of things, because she's scared of the leash, but she was in the crate, and this is for me because I knew what to do with the leash. I wasn't worried about it, and I knew as soon as I got her past a certain point, she would be fine. And Sarah came in, I had a leash on her, and she got in her kennel, and she wouldn't come out. And I go to pull on the leash a little bit, and she fights it, but she doesn't want to. So I put a little more pressure, and she fights it again. So I just quickly went bump, bump, bump. Come on, let's go, bump, bump, bump. And she popped out of the kennel, and then she was okay. I had to like physically get her out of her own head, and then she tried to bite Sarah.
She charged.
She charged, yeah.
In for the kill.
So little tiny things like that that you can do. I would say, let's see, what's a leash course? No, it's probably not going to be.
I think anything like that would be helpful.
What?
Like both of your courses for confidence building.
Yeah. So the Leash Foundation course teaches you how to use a slip lead and how to walk a dog on a leash and how to teach that pressure to the dog so that you don't F it up. And then the reactivity course has a ton of confidence building and figuring out what your dog likes, what your dog doesn't like. So both of those would be really helpful. And then I think the video that I have that I'm thinking of, I think it's just how to get a leash on a scared dog. I don't think it's actually how to work with a dog that's afraid of everything. But that's a great idea for a video. So if you go through the reactivity course and you need further help with that, I can do a virtual appointment with you.
Only for people that go through the course.
Yeah, I only can offer those to people that go through the course because you have to have that information. Otherwise, we're just wasting our time. But we have quite a few dogs that have came to us that are just shut down and scared and, you know, like the
Don't
one that
know how to
Sarah
be a
had,
dog.
She had little Ducky. Oh man, Ducky was just a nervous wreck. And now Sarah had her for like 4 months, 5 months.
Something like that.
Something like that.
6 months.
Yeah, and she worked her, built her confidence, and now Ducky, the dog that was afraid of her own shadow, that couldn't be like out of her crate, out of
food,
out of anything. Now she lives with 2 people that have another dog. They go hiking, they go camping, they go
kayaking. Ducky's on the
mountain
kayak.
biking, like the most badass lifestyle that they have with their animals, and Ducky just like fucking confidently flies through like she's been doing it her whole life. But it was only because Sarah built all that in her, because she wasn't like that. But yeah, you can put a plan together for you.
I think you need to press the button again.
Oh.
Press it again.
Is that drool on your hand?
It's gross, Kuma. You're on camera. Oops. Is that a Furminator brush you're using?
Yes. Yes, it is. I've used a few different ones, but this one does the best, I think.
How do you like having an Akita?
She's the greatest dog on the planet.
End of story.
The end.
Julia said Coco is queen. She doesn't even know about that. She doesn't know about.
She gets it though.
And she said, love that girl. Talking about Ducky.
Little duh.
She had a really rough time when Ducky left. Thanks. Time to take my beast out for a walk. Bye.
Asta,
Bye,
thank you for
Kathy.
being here.
I love you and your pack. We need you in New Jersey.
Ooh, that would be cool. That would be super cool.
New Jersey.
Yeah, well, once we get further into the financial side of handling things more efficiently, which really just means I have to get better at YouTube. Please don't look at me like that when I'm trying to do this. Come on. No. This is the side of things we're doing.
Keep those ears up, girl.
We'll be able to travel more. And that will definitely be a thing. Because it would be really, really great to do a training seminar, you know, where you guys can come out for the day or the weekend, and you can work dogs through whatever needs to happen.
That is cool. That would be cool.
Really fun. I mean, it'd even be great to do it here. We could still do that here.
Do a Tulsa Pack crossover seminar.
Yeah.
That would be double cool.
That would be very. If you guys are on any other platforms on Instagram, my girlfriend Jerry, she owns Tulsa Pack Athletics, and her Instagram handle is called Sailor Jerry. She puts out a shit ton of content it's on Instagram only, but it's just tips, daily tips with just various things about living with your dog, and her dog is a pit bull, so she's got
American Bully.
yeah, she's got a dog training company that she built, and she's got lots of trainers that do virtual training all over the world. So she is absolutely a resource. Her handle is Sailor Jerry the Dog Trainer on Instagram. She doesn't really do anything with YouTube, so
Yet.
yeah, not yet. Not yet.
Does Kuma roll over her toys to mark them? Also in New Jersey.
Does she?
Kuma, do you?
I don't know.
Tell
I don't know.
us.
I've seen her do that, but I don't know if she's done anything with her toys. She's been doing it on this spot out in the backyard where one of the cats gets in the yard and pees. It's grossing me out.
Bless you.
You don't know. She's probably a hot person. Very great. This, without that treat machine, it would not. I wouldn't get her to sit still this long. She usually gets, she doesn't fight me, she just gets like,
Annoyed.
yeah, annoyed, I'm gonna play, and you can go kick rocks, lady.
Get that stupid brush away from me.
And I have to put a leash on her, and get serious about it, and we both get our feelings hurt.
And then she judges you.
Not really, I get my feelings hurt.
Hashtag Kuma Pack Jersey Division.
Yeah, what kind of dogs do you have? Or dog in Jersey?
There's 2 New Jersey people here.
Well, you're doing great.
How old is Kuma roughly?
She will be 4 in February. Right? 4? No, you're 4 right now. Yeah, she's 4 right now.
She's gonna be 5.
She'll be 5.
Kumi.
I have to look. I have her papers. The person that bought her, they bought her from the breeder, and I have her little baby pictures and her breeder papers, or whatever you call them.
Her registered.
Yeah. She was born. I thought she was born on Valentine's Day, but I think her papers said like the end of the month something. Yeah, are you gonna be 5? Because I got her when she was 2.
85 to 90 pounds. Also, my mother is here.
Okay, you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for the super chats.
Well, one of the New Jersey people has an Akita.
Oh.
And then the other has a little Yorkie, but lots of pits. Oh, wait. No, she has a little Yorkie. So one of them has an Akita, the other has a Yorkie.
Well, I don't know. I want you to post them somewhere, and I don't know where to tell you to post them so I can see them. So if you have a YouTube channel, tell me so I can look at your dogs and gush over them.
Julia said that her little doggy is 2. Her little dog is 2. Indy is not 2. She says she's said that she's 2 since we got her. We've had her for like 3 years.
Okay, all right, you guys, thank you. Thank you for being here, and I'll put links to the courses in the comment section for Leash Reactivity and Leash Foundation. If you want those, they're both $20. They're tons of training. And if you need personalized training, you have to go through the Reactivity course first. And if you want, what else? Do we have anything else that we can tell you about? Oh, the next video that I put out, I'm going to put pictures of all the adoptables, so everybody will be in there. And I'll link her Patreon account. Okay, we love you, bye.
Okay, toodles.